Hi, so I've recently reached a huge milestone here with Kiva.org. I've lent out a total of $25,000. And while that might seem a lot, keep in mind about 8 years ago, or a little bit less than 8 years ago here, I started out just like everybody else with $50, $25, $100. And somehow after 7.5 years, just being very consistent. So $25,000 once again might seem like a lot, but what that ends up being is every year that is merely $3,100 and $260 a month. So $260 a month is 10 loans a month at a time. Now, 10 loans a month at a time would be, $25 each for one of those 10 loans. But keep in mind that when I deposit money on here, because I am loaning money versus donating money, the account just keeps on growing. So if I deposit $100 and I loan out 4 loans to each one of these people, for example, and groups, they will repay it back. And so, for example, I'm going to this tab where it shows you the repayments that people are repaying back in increments every month. So because they're paying back in increments, what ends up happening is every month you'll accumulate money that people are repaying back, and you're simply reloaning that money. So when you reloan that money and you keep on depositing money, after a while you'll just have a pool of money in your account that you could loan out. So for example, people have repaid back $385 for me this month, and I'll just reloan that money out again. And it's just continuous. So over this 7 or 8 years, I've deposited over $2,600. Now, there are a little bit of hitches here with as far as loaning out the money. So you do lose money. So for example, I've lost $238 because people end up defaulting and not paying back the loan. And the loans they might be late with, they might be late in repaying. So you'll see here that 6% of the loans or 7% people are late with, and 1% they actually default on. But keep in mind that is a little bit better than when you're donating money, and lots of times that money sort of just disappears. Whereas, well, I don't want to say disappear, but once it's used, that resource is gone for you. Whereas here, you could continuously reuse, those funds and help people out around the world. So you'll see here, in my case, whoops, sorry about that. You'll see here, in my case, where, I'm loaning out to Brazil, Peru, Senegal, Malawi, and Dominican Republic, Zimbabwe. And these people are repaying it back, as you can see with these meters. And you're really helping out, tons and tons of people. So just going back to my portfolio here, where I am going to go to my public lending page, for example, and you'll see all the people I've helped out, and it's definitely over 1,000, as you can see with simply what I have in my portfolio here. And while that's loading, I'm going to go to where all of the countries I've helped out. Now, I typically help out women because women are, underrepresented in a lot of the small businesses around the world. And you'll see here, these are all the countries that I've helped, and it's all over the world. Lots of times it is in South America, it is in Africa, and Middle Eastern countries and Southeast Asian countries. And you could see here, just the distribution. So Kiva gives you a lot of stats on this, but going back to the purpose of this video is that $25,000 target. Now, it is very true that I never thought I would reach 25,000, but when you have goals, you have a certain milestone you want to reach. Initially it might be going from $100 worth of loans to 1,000, 1,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000. And so on and so forth, to the point where, you're going to be like me, where you reach $25,000 of loans loaned out. So, so I encourage people to, really use this site and do that, because it is very much achievable. And just think of all the people that you've helped around the world just with this, just with this method here. And the thing about it is that it'll take me a lot faster to reach $50,000 than it did for me to reach $2,500, and even $100,000 now is not out of reach. It's going to take me less than 7 years to achieve that, simply because as I deposit more and more money, it just accumulates within this account with the previous money that I've deposited over 7 years. And when you're doing it at $25 at increments at monthly at a time, it really isn't much over 5 years or 2 years or 7 years. So just keep that in mind. But that's really all I wanted to mention about this $25,000 milestone that I've reached. And once again, I encourage everybody to actually use and do this, and to not get discouraged. If you're consistent, if you keep at it, you will reach what I've done here in actually no time. So and keep in mind, it is just small $25 increments. But that's really what I wanted to say, and I hope this helped, and please subscribe, and thank you for watching.